Good morning, family. It's your boy, always living blessed. I apologize that I'm still in bed. Just woke up. Well, the reason why I'm making this video, he's been following me for a while, so he asked me a question recently. I ain't gonna put him on blast because he asked me not to. He asked me not to even mention his name, so I'll just leave it at that. The reason why he messaged me is he was telling me I guess he's going through something. I did offer prayer for him and he refused. And he asked me, he said, I took the time to look at your Instagram. And I do like some of the things you put. He said, quote, I do like some of the things you put. You notice that I like majority of your stuff that is not religious based. And I said, I really didn't notice. But everything, all the means that I definitely make, you know, are religious based. So then he tells me he watches my videos. He watched them, and he said he told me one he didn't like. I was cool with that. I'm cool with you guys liking them or not liking them. Because that at the end of the day, it's your opinion. I thank you for taking the time out to watch them. More importantly, and if you do get something and you walk away with something, that's even bigger bonus. It's your choice. You never know. You may watch a video and a seed may be planted and it may grow later and you might, always living blessed talked about that. But he's an atheist and he asked me, why am I in love with God? Why am I such a Christian? Why do everything that I say is religious based? Why? Why? That's what he said. And I don't know his situation growing up. I don't know what trials and tribulations he may have experienced, or maybe he not has experienced anything. So I told him, I said, listen, I said, well, I have seen God work as far as in my life. I've seen him do things. I've prayed and seen the aftermath of me praying. I've seen God work in so many realms. So I have a deep relationship with him. I know him. I know how he works. I know how the man moves. And he told me, he said, how can I believe in something I never even seen? And how can I trust something I never even seen? So this is what I did, folks, family. I broke it down to him. I said, you woke up this morning, right? Yes, I woke myself up. No, that was God. You at the job today, right? Yeah, you got a job, right? Yes, because I applied for. No, that's God. You're able to get yourself dressed. Well, no problem. Yeah, because I'm in shape and I take care of myself. And no, that's God. Everything that you do, whether you want to believe it or not, is because God allows it. You're more blessed than anything. God loves his atheist children. He does. Because you guys, I wouldn't say you're lost. I wouldn't say, not found. I wouldn't say none of that. I'd just say that he's done such a major move in y'all life, y'all don't even notice. But y'all move so fast, y'all don't take the time to notice. But if one of y'all just stopped one day, just stopped and just watch, you'll see how he moves in your life. I'm not one of those Christians that try to push Jesus down your throat. My thing is, if that's for you, that's for you. But I'm going to continue to pray for you anyway. And you asked me if I have any atheist friends. I actually have two. And they have their reasons. One of my friends that's an atheist, he came from, his family was rich. Of course you ain't gonna have no hard times. Of course you ain't gonna go through no trials and tribulations. Mommy and dad's gonna pay for everything. They're gonna make sure you have a smooth life. But, he gonna they gonna be mad at me, but they're depressed. They're depressed. And they don't know why they're depressed. They think it's because some issues that happened when they were younger. I said, no. I said, you're depressed because you have had everything given to you. You know, you have everything. Your parents have made this world appear to be perfect, and it's really not. You know, you gotta love imperfections in it because, and all the imperfections, you grow from them. You become a better individual. You sometimes you need them trials and tribulations to define you as a person. You know, my other atheist friend, um, she's just she just think a lot of things happened to her and God didn't do nothing about it. And she's just a living testimony. She just don't want to give him the glory. I said, where you are today is because of God. God has made you strong. Sometimes, Drew, I told her all the time, through great pain comes great things. Because of your trials and tribulations, because of your trials and tribulations, you are where you are. You know, you graduated college. You're a nurse. You know, now you started your own business. You know, God is in the midst of that. But she feels as though so much bad stuff happened. God, he if he was there, he wouldn't allow it to happen. No, he allowed it to happen for you to be who you are. But she'll give him the glory eventually. But I appreciate you reaching out to me. You know, and God does love you, whether you want to hear that or not. And there is one. He sits high and looks low. Whether you call him Yahweh, whether you call him Allah, whether you call him Ganesh, whether you call him, you know, the spirits, whatever you call him, when you believe in something, you know you can see the fruits of what you prayed for, you know? So that's why I feel the way I do about God. He's been there for me through mighty things. He's brought me through mighty things. You know, I still sing his praises because I've seen all he's done for me. You know, all the woo boy. If I take you back to the things he done, man, I have to sit back sometimes and be like, oh, that was you. That was you. Because, you know, I take the time out to look at the scenery. Take the time to look at the scenery and appreciate it. You got to do the same thing, brother. You got to do the same thing. God is working in you, boy. He's doing so much for you. He loves you, you know? Even though you're atheist, I still love you. And I still will pray for you. You know, I prayed for you last night because you told me what you was going through. I prayed for you. Whether you want to hear it or not, I did. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that was helpful to someone out there. All right, family. Love y'all. Be blessed.